Oh, that stopped now. Okay, so I think we can get going. I just want to see there's some people here in the lobby that I just want to bring in.
Usually,
Hi, Matapelo. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
How are you all doing?
Good, thank you.
We are fine. Thank you very much for asking. Very excited to join the virtual workshop.
Wonderful. I'm also excited.
Yippee!
Yeah, no, thank you so much for all of you for joining. Yes, I would like us to get going. As people come in, I will get them into the session as well. If I am sharing my screen, then sometimes I don't see if people come in. Then other participants are still able to allow people in from the lobby. Ilona, can I maybe ask you if you see if anyone wants to join, if you can maybe let them in if I'm sharing my screen and I don't see it, if someone is trying to join us, please.
Yeah, sure. Of course, I'll do that for you.
Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, great. So I think I want to kick off with everything and I want to get us back to, oh, sorry, let me just get past that one. I want to welcome you all to this challenge. It is quite exciting for me to have everybody here and to actually see, sorry, there I stopped sharing the screen, to see the reaction that I've got from everyone as well. Thank you all for your support through the process. It's really nice to know that people are willing to also advance yourself and maybe make some changes as facilitators. So it's amazing for me to have you all here. Just for the ones that just joined now, I am recording these sessions so that you're all just aware that it will be recorded and the recordings will also be uploaded onto my YouTube channel. This is something new that I'm starting. And I'm excited to have all of you on board here. So what I would like to also just share with you guys is if we're going into this, to welcome you to the Facilitator Challenge. This Facilitator Challenge is something that has been pushing on my heart for quite a while now, being a facilitator myself. And I wanted to start sharing with people how I do my facilitation and things that I've been testing out over the past couple of years with and having great success. So firstly, I want to know, are you guys prepared to take a bold move and look at different ways that you can maybe also change the way that you're facilitating, making sure that we address all the needs of the Gen Zs and also learnership candidates that we all know. A lot of them, it's a method of survival, unfortunately, for a lot of the candidates that goes on learnerships, but that can be cause some challenges through the way as well. So as we go on, I would just would like you guys to interact with me. I don't want to have this as a one-way conversation. This is something that we can share with each other and we can also help each other to grow and develop throughout the process. So I would really love to hear from you guys from your side as well. But before we jump in with that, I would love you guys to please introduce yourselves so that we also know who you are. It will be great if you introduce yourself, if you can switch on your camera at that point so that we can all at least see who we're talking to. So yeah, I think if we can start at the top of the list here. Ilona, I see you at the top. Would you mind starting to introduce yourself to us, please?
Sure. Excuse the I went for a
No
swim
problem.
just now because it's been so hot. All right, so my name is Ilana. I facilitate. I sound like I'm in the AA. I have been facilitating for about 15 years, maybe more seriously for the last 6. I facilitate learnerships, business admin management learnerships, and I also facilitate the audit programs. I think that's all. What else do you want to know? Is that it? Is that enough?
What triggered you that you want to join this challenge?
Curiosity, because it's something that I've been playing with as well for a while, and I know that with Generation Z we have to do things differently, and I think I'm beginning to be in the wrong generation now, and that I have to start maybe changing the way I facilitate, or looking at maybe if I can get how to get through to generation. The learnerships is a big frustration, and I don't know whether they're going to go on like this, and how things are going to change now with the QCTO, but Generation Z is going to be on our table, so there's not much we can do about it. So yeah, I think we have to change.
Wonderful. But I won't say that you're in the wrong generation yet. You know what? We're learning so much from you. I've had the privilege over the past couple of years to be working with Ilana as well. So, yeah, thank you, Ilana, for introducing yourself. But yes, definitely someone that knows what she's talking about, and with definitely on the moderation and being able to give guidance to everyone working with her as well. So, Ilana, thank you so much for joining. I feel privileged to have you as part of this session as well. Okay, then the next person that I see is Yuan. Yuan, can you maybe introduce yourself to us?
Goeienaand, ja, ek is Johan Karlitz. Ek werk vir Sandvik. Ek het laas jaar September training departement aangesluit.
Sorry, Yuan, can I maybe ask you if it would be possible to switch to English, please? We have some people on here that might not be able to understand you.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. Yes, I'm
Thanks.
Johan Karlitz. I'm working for Sandvik. I started last year September as a facilitator and training for technical trainer for Sandvik. I started in the mining career in 1996 and being a foreman and supervisor since 2001 in various divisions in the mining industry. So starting on this new journey for me in the training department. So that's why this is so important for me to get as much experience in the facilitating and training as possible.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yes, so I've actually met Yuan in a facilitation session while I was facilitating a session 2 weeks ago. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Well, Yuan, you mentioned there that you would be open to join something like this. So I believe for you also stepping into the training environment now, that this will also be able to give you some value and also get some guidance and input from other seasoned facilitators that's also on this program and joining us. So welcome. And I know that you're going to enjoy your training journey once you kick off with everything that you're doing.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you. Okay, then the next person that I've got here is Pauline. I hope I pronounce your names correctly. Please correct me if I don't.
It's Pulani.
Pulani. Thank you so much, Pulani.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. I don't know if my camera is on because I've been fighting with it. It just does not show what I want to show. But anyway, I have been in the facilitation field about 3+ years now. I'm facilitating mostly skills development programs. It's short courses of business administration, yes. And the reason I joined this workshop is I just want to add a new set of skills that I think I will need very, very soon. So I'm eager to learn whatever that will be shared here. And thank you very much for broadcasting this. And then I'm happy that I saw it on Facebook, and I just said to myself, I've got nothing to lose. Why not? It's only 4 weeks. And thank you very much for the opportunity once again. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it as well. And I believe that we'll be able to help you. And yeah, you guys must be able to share with each other and share with me as well where you're having your challenges. That's the thing about this facilitated challenge as well. It's not going to just be a one-way from my side. Everyone can learn from everyone in this process. So please, I encourage all of you to participate. Okay,
Awesome. I will
Matapelo.
try your best. Thank you.
Thank you, Pulani. Matapelo, how are you? Matapelo, can you hear me? You're on mute. Okay. So then I think we'll move on to the next one. Ramelia, do I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, you did. That was perfect. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ramelia. I've been a facilitator for, I think, 18 years now. That's in corporate. So the topics that I facilitate are quite broad, but I think I can narrow it down to compliance and soft skills. I'm a bit new to freelancing or being an independent facilitator. That journey is only about, I think, 9 months old now. But having been in the industry, I know it's important to remain relevant, and this is why I am here. Also to build connections, I think, because I believe that as a independent facilitator, it's important to have to build a network of people who are able to support you and people that you can learn from, and people who hopefully can learn from me. so I'm here to learn and to share.
Wonderful.
And yeah, thank you for starting this initiative, Maritza. It's awesome.
Thank you so much for that, and thank you for joining us. Yes, I believe that we will be able to build a network through this as well. I believe it's important to be able to support each other. Some of us have challenges that we face, and we don't know where to go to actually get that sounding board of how do other people actually deal with it. And I think that is for me also part of what we're doing on this now as well. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Then the next on my list here, I've got Stephen. Good evening, Stephen.
All right, evening, everyone. And it's a pleasure and an honor to be here. I'm 34 years in retail, and I've been running the graduate program in the company. We actually employ graduates from varsity, and we train them in retail and on hard skills and soft skills. So I've been doing this now for the last maybe 3-4 years, and prior to that also being in retail and running certain departments. It is one of the strengths of the retail, taking people from the street and actually really teaching them all aspects of the business.
Wow, that's amazing. I believe that we'll be able to learn a lot from you as well, definitely. Thank you so much for joining the session. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Great. Then we've got Maginia. I don't know if I pronounce your name correctly.
Yes, you pronounce it correctly. Hi,
evening.
everyone. Good evening. Okay. And my name is Maginia Urisani, and I've been facilitator for more than 12 years, and building and civil constructions, from manufacturing. Now I'm dealing with the competence A, and the mining thing. That we're training this thing of competence A every day. So the thing, or the reason which makes me to join this, the content, the name which you write up there, it's pursuing. Then I just seen that I have to be there. I've got nothing to win, nothing to lose. Let me go in and see what's going on there. And the thanks for the opportunity to join the legends. I can see that 34 years is not just a child play. It shows that there's a lot to learn there. So thank you.
great. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm glad to hear as well that actually the way that I did the marketing for this actually drew attention and the name got you. That is quite encouraging. Marketing is another side of what I love doing as well, over and above training. So yes, it's been a short time that I've put it out there, but I will explain to you guys why and how I've just put it out so quickly and what it's all about at the end of the day. But thank you so much. I really appreciate that you joined us.
Thank you.
And then we've got Mzolorzi. Sorry, I don't know if I pronounced your name correctly there.
Solisi.
Hello.
Mzolisi.
Hello.
Hi there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good
I'm
evening.
Zolisi. I'm Zolisi.
Zolisi. Nice meeting you.
Yes, but the second name is Crosby. You can call me Crosby. I don't have any problem with that.
Okay.
I'm from PE. I'm from PE, Port Elizabeth, and I've been a facilitator for almost 19 years now.
Wow.
I'm a life skill facilitator and also end user, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Another person that we can definitely learn from with a lot of experience there as well. Thank you so much. And then the next person that I've got on the list is Paul. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, everybody, once again.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you go
Okay.
ahead and introduce yourself to everybody, please?
Yes, yeah, my name is Paul Mtombeni. I'm a freelance facilitator, only 2 years in the industry, but previously I worked as a bank manager for over 24 years. So after I decided to take early retirement about 2 years ago, I thought with my experience and knowledge, I can share a lot by registering myself with the various sectors, specializing in marketing, new venture creations, generic management, human resources, and assisting with SSMEs and other various soft skills as well. So I thought when I saw your invite, I thought maybe it would be wise that I join in so that I can pick up, because I'm not long in the industry. Also to hear what are the other challenges versus what I've already experienced in the last 2 years. It feels like I've been here for like 30 years already. Some of the things that I come across, I got so surprised to say, wow, is this what you go through when you're a freelance facilitator? But then as an experienced person from the managerial perspective, I managed to maneuver to find ways to assist the learners. And yeah, and I've been to I'm based in Johannesburg basically, but there was a time I was asked to go and facilitate outside Johannesburg, which was in the Northwest. When I came there, I actually thought I wanted to run back to Johannesburg, but then unfortunately, I had to be there for the learners and make sure that I help them, because they're definitely not the same as the guys in Johannesburg, you know.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, I think yeah, the past 2 years has been very interesting, and I'm looking forward to learning more from the guys. I hear these guys with lots of vast experience in this field already. So I hope I will add value and maybe learn a lot from the guys.
Wonderful.
That's
Thank you
me.
so much, Paul. I really appreciate it. I live in the Northwest, and I agree with you. It's completely different from Joburg learners. Yeah, it's got its own ways to it, and every area is different. I've been working in all the different provinces actually over the past years, facilitating and helping with projects. But thank you so much, Paul. Really appreciate that you joined us.
Thank you.
Matapelo, I just quickly want to hear if you are there. If you're there, you are on mute. Can you maybe also introduce yourself to everybody? Okay.
So there's a message from Matapelo in the chat to say that his network is quite bad.
Okay, I see that. All right,
Yeah.
but we know that you're here. Thank you so much for joining. I see that you can only hear Lana introducing herself. Okay, Matapelo, if your network is very bad and you can hear me, I will definitely share the link to the videos to you as well. so that you don't miss out on this opportunity and sharing here as well. Okay, fantastic. So what I would like to do then, I put on my camera there. I would really like to get going. I don't want to take too much of your time here, and I want us to get going and continue. Let me just quickly, I'm just trying to get my setting right here. Great. So basically, like I mentioned to you all, this entire thing of the Facilitator Challenge, it's something that's been on my heart for a while. I've been, just to maybe give you guys some background about myself in the process. I'm going to be putting it on the slides now. So I've been in the training industry myself for about 14 years, not always been facilitating. I started off in administration and basically then worked my way through the education system. So like I said to you guys, I'm Maritza Kruger and I've been in the training industry working, and how I got into the training industry was completely not what I thought. It wasn't what I thought I want to do. But I started working for the Department of Health in London in the UK, where I was actually part of the project management team. And I had to travel through the UK and I had to train private hospitals on how they should run their projects based on the project management tools that we've developed at the Department of Health. So there I fell in love with training. It wasn't what I thought it's going to be. I traveled, I lived out of suitcases and hotels. I saw the UK on the government's expenses there, working for the department. And yeah, it was actually really amazing for me. I was there for 5.5 years. I returned to South Africa in 2009. And then I started off in a different environment. But in 2011, I started as a training coordinator and marketing assistant, where I could actually live out one of my passions in marketing, like I mentioned before as well. So then from there, over the years after that, I explored different things and I've started my own company and actually a marketing outsourcing company, but it led me back to training because eventually I ended up training my customers how to run their own marketing. And yeah, it just led me back to training once again, because I like it and I love it. I love working with people. It just keeps on taking me back. And then in 2016, I was offered opportunity to become a ETQA manager at a college, where I worked as a ETQA manager for 7 months, and then I moved into a position as academic dean. So once again, I traveled all over South Africa, managing 15 different campuses and the academic staff at that point. And I was running projects with learnership programs, and I was very hands-on involved in those projects as well. And that is where I started testing and trying out new things, because I think all of you know the challenges that we're facing with learnerships. Learners go onto learnership programs 90% of the time because it's a method of survival. Unfortunately, that is the sad reality of what we have here in South Africa as well. And we need to understand the entire concept about it and behind it. So I started experimenting with a group of candidates, 225 candidates, it was a CETA-funded project that I managed and worked closely with the facilitators and jumped in and ran some of the classes myself, where I actually started experimenting on how can I get these candidates that is not really interested in the course that they're doing. They took any course just because they know it's a source of income and they can survive. But how can I get them to start liking what they're doing? How can I get them to be intrigued and actually benefit from the entire learnership program? So I started experimenting, and I had amazing success with that. From the group of 225 learners, only 6 didn't complete the program. And I think that is something that not a lot of companies and people can achieve. So even with the MICT CETA, through whom the project was actually sponsored, they at that point did an article where they interviewed me to say, how did I manage this project? Because they haven't seen success rates like that. On average, if you go and have a look at the CETA statistics, about 40% of candidates entering into a learnership will actually complete, not just complete, being competent and achieving the qualification that they're actually enrolled into. So then my mind started running more and more and more. And eventually, I resigned from my position as academic dean out of a comfortable position, and I decided I'm going on my own because at the end of the day, the learners is very important for me. I've got a massive passion for people, and I believe if you want to be a facilitator, you need to have a passion for people. Otherwise, you're not supposed to be in the classroom. And through the process, that is then how I started exploring more and more and working with the individuals and seeing how can we actually get to the point where there's really a difference made in their lives as well, and they're achieving. So I've been freelance facilitating, and that's also how I met Ilana for quite some years. And in my classrooms, I've been implementing a lot of the strategies that I'm going to share with you guys with great success, and also seeing how that makes a difference for everybody to actually move forward with what they want to achieve in their own personal lives as well. So I want to give you guys first, before we jump into the next one, I want to warn you. And I said this in the advertising that I put out, the article that I wrote on LinkedIn and everything. This is not just for anybody. If you're not going to be willing to think outside the box, and you're not going to be willing to change the methods and the traditional ways of facilitation that you've been used to over many years, then you might find this quite challenging as we go ahead, because you're going to be challenged. If you're joining this program, it's quite important that you really see it as a challenge to challenge yourself. I want you to get out of your comfort zone, because these techniques and strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, I've got proof that it works. And I know that if you really want to make that change and understand how to do the facilitation with the Gen Zs, with learnership students, that's a big challenge. This will make a difference for you as a facilitator, that you don't feel frustrated with what you're doing, but that you actually start loving it again and having that passion for what you're doing. So how will this entire thing go? This is actually an introduction session where I'm going to be taking you guys through and explain to you the roadmap that we'll be following throughout this process so that you understand exactly how it works. There's going to be 8 sessions over 4 weeks. Not all of the sessions will be virtual sessions like what we're having tonight. Tuesday nights, we'll have a virtual session from 7 until 8:30 on Teams. You'll get your invites and everything. And then on Thursdays, there will be a different challenge that I will be sending to you that will go live at 7 o'clock, but it's going to be with recordings that I've made, and you can actually work through it more in your own time. Because I know that and understand, as facilitators, there's a lot of things that we need to be doing, and we can't always just put aside an hour, hour and a half during a week evening, because we still work after hours as well. So this will also then give you time to work on the missions that you're going to get throughout the process. And I will be sharing this slide with you as well, that you can know what to expect as we go along and what each session will be about for you as well. So after each session, I'll be sharing a mission with you. And these missions will be available. The Tuesday evening ones will be available until Monday night, 6 o'clock. So that gives you enough time to complete the mission. You're going to be actively involved in your own process and developing new skills in this process as well. And then 7 o'clock on Tuesday, the next session will start. The Thursday sessions, you will get your mission on a Thursday, 7 o'clock, and you will have until for the Tuesday ones, it will be available until 6 o'clock on a Thursday. For the Thursday ones, it will be available until 6 o'clock on a Monday. So that gives you enough scope to work through the challenges that I'm going to be putting out for you as well. So are you guys committed to actually take on these challenges and make the changes and use the tools that I will give to you guys as well? Want to get some feedback? Are you open for this? I believe if you're here tonight, then you are. It's the first step towards it. Okay, so so basically as we go through, there's different aspects and topics that we'll be looking at. First, what we're going to be looking at is understanding the different learners. So tonight's session is more the challenge that I'll be sending to you guys afterwards is also to understand yourself a bit more and analyze your own facilitation style. Just like we have learning styles, each one of us have our own personal facilitation style. And to actually evaluate it, I'll go through some information with you guys to see why and how I would like to evaluate each one of you personally. And I will give you personalized feedback after the online personal reflection assignment that I'm going to be sending to you guys after this session, so that we can really see what is your true style of facilitation and where can be the pain points that can change, if I can put it out as a pain point. And you guys can say, yes, I'm very bold to put it out to say I challenge my fellow facilitators, but that is really what this is going to be. It's going to be a challenge for you. You have to be open and honest with yourself and reflect if you really want that change to take place. And I can guarantee you guys, my guarantee to you is if you follow it the way that I give you guys it, you will never facilitate the same way again, and you will love what you're doing, and your students will, and your learners will actually, they won't want to miss any of your sessions because they're actually going to love and enjoy it. So the second one that you're guys going to be doing on your own is then understanding the different learners. There it will be video clips where I also explain stuff to you guys, looking into Gen Z, looking at the different generations that we have, because we don't just have Gen Zs in our classes, but how do we deal with them and how do we deal with all of them together in one group? Because that can be quite challenging as well. Then the third one, it will be the next Tuesday. How does AI work in facilitation and how can it benefit you as a facilitator to make your job easier as well? So we're going to be looking at AI and experiential training and how you can use that for your own advantage as well. Then we're going to be looking at the next session, experiencifying face-to-face classes. You guys hear about everything, gamification and everything as well. How can you experienceify even in your class? And then also I will be addressing the QCTO, ASA, and the exam preparations, because that is something that we're all moving into. And how do you get, especially a learnership learner, that's on a 12 or it's even going to be 18-month learnership programs, to remember everything they've learned from the start and go and write that external integrated summative assessment at the end of the day. So that is also something that I will be sharing with you guys, some ideas, and I would also love to get your inputs there as well. And we'll be working on case study for that specifically as well. The next session that we'll be looking at is mastering virtual training. Just like what we're doing now, virtual training is something that a lot of us do. COVID got us into it, which is a great thing, but it has its own challenges, and to experienceify virtual training can sometimes be a bit more challenging than standing in front of a class and doing stuff in a classroom, but you still have to involve your candidates. I've had a challenge with a group of learners that I facilitated, and yeah, I was sitting talking to myself 90% of the time, saying, hello, is anybody there? Hello, if you're there, say in the chat, you're there. So those are the real challenges that we face. And how can we overcome that and also get the learners more actively involved on virtual sessions as well? Then what are we going to be doing? The next session will also be enhancing your virtual experience, looking into different tools that we can also use and work with different things to take that virtual training a step further. Then the seventh session that we're going to be looking at is creating interactive learning beyond just normal tools that you can use in the classroom, and also to help your learners outside of the classroom as well. And then the last session will be an online session again, where we will be reflecting and discussing how you've implemented these different techniques in your classrooms, in the training sessions that you're doing, because that's going to be part of your challenge, is not just to listen to what I've got to say, but to actually start implementing and using these things as well. So one of the things that we might all also have a thing, and understanding where's our roles as facilitators with AI and online learning and people going that direction. If you go and you do a Google search, despite the popularity of online training and being a multi-billion dollar, if you go and read up about online training industry that it is, research has found that only 5 to 15% of students who do an online training session, and I'm not talking about virtual classes like we're doing now, buying an online course where there's no guidance, no support, 5 to 15% of people actually complete that course that they enroll for. So what that say to me is we as facilitators, we're not a dying species. We will definitely still have work going forward because people still want that human touch. With all the AI that comes in and everything, we can use it to our advantage and make our lives easier, but it will not take away our roles as facilitators. So as part of the research and what I've been doing over the past years, I realized that it's really important that we understand how we facilitate. So how do you facilitate, and looking at the different methodologies and things that we're looking out there, this is different from just bringing in audio and your kinesthetic learners. We are not on that same page at all with this training session. You've done that as in your facilitator training. So this is bringing in something different. I'm not just giving you train the trainer or facilitator training here. Something that I'm going to give to you guys, like I said, the self-reflection mission at the end of this is to truly investigate and analyze your own facilitation methods, and also to understand how you need to change and how will it impact your learners. Experiential learning is a must in today's fast-paced world, especially with our Gen Z learners. That is something that you have to bring in the classroom, on virtual training, everywhere, and we'll be looking at that as well. And then looking at, are you meeting that requirements as a facilitator, and how can you actually do it, and the tools and guidance through that. Now, this is something, who of you have heard about catalytic learning before? Anyone on here that know what catalytic learning is? Go.
Nope.
All right. So over the years that I've been experimenting, I've been doing a lot of research. I'm one of those people, don't give me a storybook to read. I get bored and it's not going to help me. I like to learn something if I read. And I listen to a lot of webinars and YouTubes and everything as well. And with the experiments that I actually implemented myself, I started doing research. And looking at something that I then came across is actually to put a name to what it is that I bring into the classroom is catalytic learning. So this is basically, in simple terms, it is an enduring learning that is measurable as well, but prepares the learner to continue to learn and implement new knowledge, and put the learners in a position for future self-directed learning. Now, one of the people that I actually like to follow is a professor. She is Professor Rochelle. I don't really know, Trachtenberg. I don't really know how to pronounce her name correctly. Now, she's not actually just in the training industry. She's got 25 years experience, and she's in the medical research with neurology and how academia and the research methodologies that she uses is biomedical, and looking at academia and how a person's brain functions to actually learn. Now, I followed her stuff and got a name to what it is that I'm actually doing. At the end of the day, is bringing in that experiences, and her definition is catalytic learning refers to a transformative and dynamic learning process that spark significant changes in an individual's knowledge, skills, and attitudes. It goes beyond traditional passive learning, and it aims to ignite the catalyst for the personal and professional growth of each one of your learners that you have. Then she's got another thing that she brings in as well, metacognition. And this is the ability to think about one's own thinking processes. It involves the awareness and the control over one's cognitive processes, such as your planning, monitoring, and evaluating one's learning strategies. Then bringing it all together. What it basically is to facilitate it in such a way that you bring the lasting change into your learner's life and make it fun in the process. So bringing in activities and approaches and not just dumping information overload on your learners, because if you're just lecturing and standing in the front of the class, transferring this heap of knowledge that your learners have to actually get into their minds and in their brains, at the end of the day, it is very difficult for them. And by the time they walk out, they can't remember half of what you said. And that is a reality. Now, if we're looking at the QCTO training coming up as well, where they're going to have to write exams and not just submitting a portfolio of evidence, that is going to be one of your biggest challenges, is how will you get your learners to actually be able to pass those exams with all of that knowledge that you have to give them. So at the end of the day, it also encourages the learners to use their knowledge into and change the existing mental frameworks. Now, this is also what I'm going to be using to evaluate each one of you and to look at your learning styles and see how you work in the process with the challenge that I'm going to be giving you as well. So what this actually means is also you have to have a shift in the cognitive schema. This is also still this Professor Rochelle's entire thing and how she explains it. I've just written it for you in a more understandable language because that's quite academic. So it actually challenging your existing mental models, encouraging learners to recognize their perspectives, beliefs, and approaches. This changed the cognitive schema, and it's also very important for transformative learning experiences. So we're going to be looking into this, and I'm going to be using this to also look at you. So where does that place you and your role as a facilitator? So your role in a catalytic learning is very important. That means you should use different methods to ensure that the learning experiences are transformative and sustainable and continue the cognitive schema change. So the main things, she's got the entire thing about it, and I've just got a couple of things that I took out. But what I've actually done for you guys, I'll share it after the session with you. I took some of the research that I've got from this Professor Rochelle and other sources as well that I've been working with over the past couple of years. And I've put together a little booklet that I rewrote in basically understandable and what I want you guys to understand with this challenge, so that it is an understandable format and not just this highly academic words that we have to look at. So basically, we want to transfer the learners or the participants and give them the knowledge, but we have to develop activities and get them experience, hands-on experience, experiencifying the learning process at the end of the day. And you're going to be hearing me saying this experiencifying quite a lot, because that is what we need to do, and that is what really works to give people a real hands-on experience in the training as well. So there's quite a lot of things that she gave and that is going through. I'm not going to go through all of this because I've put together a booklet for you guys so that you can also take your own time to go and read through this. But at the end of the day, the crux of this research that she's been doing on a neurology studies, and like I say, it's all biomedical that she's doing her research, is how does the brain take in information? Now, something that also got me thinking, working with learners, and don't understand me wrong, I'm not comparing learnership learners with small children now. The thing is, how do small children learn? We all, as adults, learn in a very similar way. And that is where we're also going to be looking into the different tools that we can use. Now, during lockdown, we all had kids at home and trying to help kids. I've had our little girl, and I've experimented and played with her to recognize numbers. She was only 4 by that time, just turned 4 when COVID hit. And one of the things that I've done with her was I took little stickers, or you know, those star price tags that a lot of shops will put in the small cafes and stuff that we have as well. And I wrote the different numbers on there. Now, if you look at a small child, the way that they learn, if you give them the numbers, they learn to count 1 to 10, for example. But if you mix those numbers up, they're confused, and then they will start and they will count on their fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, to recognize what number it is. But then through gamification, what I've done is I've packed all of those numbers, different colors, and I got 2 of those fly flaps, one for her and one for me, and I've packed them in random order on the carpet in the living room. And then I would say a number. I would say number 5, and then she'd have to hit the number 5 with that fly flap that I gave her. If it's wrong, I was like, wrong answer, and then she would laugh, and it would be a fun and game. And whenever she actually achieved and got the right number, I would praise her. I would go, yes, you're so clever, wonderful. Now, that might seem like, okay, that's how you teach a little 4-year-old child. Adults like to get the rewards. Adults like to get the motivation. And experiencifying and gamifying the way that we do training really creates a sustainable learning for our learners in the classrooms as well. You don't just have to do it in the traditional way. You can't just stand in the front. You have to be able to actually make it fun, especially if you're going to be working with Gen Z learners in your classrooms. The difference that you will see with them is absolutely amazing. So these are the things that I'm going to be sharing with you guys as we go along. And I really want to challenge you guys. Like I said, it's going to be a challenge. Implement the tools that I give you. Start using some of these concepts in your classrooms already as you learn about them. After each mission, there will be something new that you can take to your classroom that you can actually immediately start implementing as well. And it's not going to cost you a lot of money. Gamification, you can say, oh, we don't have the money. Our training company don't have the money for gamification. The reality is, most of training providers don't have the money to start with VR training, immersive experiences with simulators. If you're working for a company that have that type of funds, then it's great. But what are you going to do in your classroom without those tools that is costing a lot of money, just needs the internet and computers, where in a lot of cases, especially if we're working with learnership candidates, we don't have that luxury to have that available. And that is where I'm going to be sharing stuff with you guys that you can do that's not going to cost you a cent. Yes, it's going to cost you some time and effort to actually create these tools, but I will give you guys step-by-step guiding. I will help you throughout the process with this so that you can actually start testing it in your own classrooms and see the difference that it makes. People learn with experiences. Another lady that I've been following for quite a time now as well is Marissa Murgatroyd, and they've got this e-learning platform, Experienceify. Now, they've done a research to see how does people get addicted to gambling and these games that people play on their phones like Candy Crush. Now, they've developed also the entire e-learning platform, online training platform, based on that theory of what get people to want to keep on moving those little candies to crush Candy Crusher for hours on their phones. But when it comes to studies, they find ways to get away from it. Now, by implementing these things and testing it out in my own classroom environments, I really saw the change and the challenges if you get your learners to get out of their comfort zones as well, but get them actively involved. All right, so that is giving you guys tonight a bit of an overview of what this entire 4 weeks challenges will be about and how I really want to take you guys on this journey and what you're going to be doing throughout as well and sharing with you guys. This is the introduction evening so that you understand the background of my boldness, challenging other facilitators to get out of your comfort zone, jump in there, start doing things differently so that you can really see the difference that you can make. Now, like I mentioned to you guys, your first mission that you're going to get on this is actually now you guys achieved your first mission. It's also a reward system. You guys are going to get your first badge that you have actually achieved when you have completed the form to say that you are accepting this challenge. You've already completed your first mission. By completing and attending this training session, you have completed your second mission. And I want to say, well done. I'm actually pleasantly surprised to see the turnout and the responses that I've got. I had quite more responses than people actually being online tonight, but that doesn't matter. We all have to start with something, and you guys are the first ones who actually took and accepted this challenge. So, wow, I believe that you guys have the right mindset to take this so much further and make the change. So, with your first reflective mission, I will be sharing that with you guys after this training session. You're going to be answering questions. You're going to select. You have to be so honest about your answers that you give there, please. Because if you're totally honest, there's no right or wrong answer. This is literally looking at how do you facilitate and how open will you really be in the process to change the methods. We learned in certain ways, this is a facilitator, this is how you should do it. You should stand there in the front of the class, basically lecturing, not facilitating. But this will really identify your own unique strengths and what set you apart from other facilitators so that we can start and ignite that spark for transformation for each one of you. I will be giving each one of you personalized feedback. You will have your personalized feedback as soon as I can send it out to you guys, but no later than the personalized feedback. You guys have until Thursday to complete this mission. So by Monday at the latest on the 10th of February, I will give each person who have actually accepted this challenge and completed this mission, I will give you personalized feedback based on your selections and analyzing what is really the style of facilitation that you're doing. So that is going to be your first challenge that you're going to have there as well. So once again, my guarantee to you guys, should you choose to accept this challenge and should you actually complete this honestly and as honestly as you can, this will also, will show you and learn you things about yourself and how you facilitate that you might never knew before. So this is my guarantee for you. If you're doing this mission and you're being open and honest about it, that you will see some things in the way that you facilitate that you might not even have realized before. Okay. So you guys up for this challenge? Are you open for this?
Yes.
You can shoot it.
Yes.
Yes,
Let's
bring it
go.
on, bring it on.
Yay! Okay, for those of you that don't know me, you're gonna get to know me. I can't contain my excitement. I'm so glad, guys. This is gonna be a very big step for you to see where you're at for you to be able to move forward. Okay.
I've
So
already
basically,
analyzed you.
sorry.
I said, we've already analyzed you.
That's great. So basically, yes, I'm going to share with you guys also the link to the YouTube channel that I've just also started now for this mission, where all the videos will be uploaded onto. I want you guys to please go and subscribe, because if there's anything that you miss, that you will be able to actually take it on and watch the recording there. But it's also, for me, it's very important for you not to miss any of the sessions. The sessions will take place, the virtual sessions will actually only be an hour from 7 to 8. And then that last part of the session is going to be an open floor for discussions for you to also share with each other your experiences and how you experienced the challenge that was put out for you as well. We've got a hand up here. Magiana? Is that to say that you take it?
It's Magiana. It's
Yes.
Magiana.
Magenia.
Okay. Then, yes. Thank you. I really like the presentation. Yes, that's number one. Okay, number two, I can hear that you are sharing your vision. Yes, but one question is I didn't hear your exit strategy after the whole process. I don't know if I can say mentorship or if I can say challenge, because to me, when I look at it, it look like a more to mentorship.
Yes. So
You can call it
basically,
you can call it challenge, but to me, when I look at it, just few minutes which I was scrutinizing, I discovered that this is more to mentorship.
yes. So thank you very much for the question. Yes. So basically, what this will lead to over these 4 weeks, I will be guiding you guys with as much as possible tools that I can guide you with. But 4 weeks is also just 4 weeks. So what I'll be doing is one of the things I've been offering to clients as well is to do mentorship programs for you personally if you want to do mentorship programs as an individual. Also, I've been working with companies where I actually train their staff or facilitators, where they got me in to help them to develop some of the tools that I've been experimenting and that I'm talking about now as well. Because when we're getting to that point, sometimes it's overwhelming for people to look at it and say, I have to create something and gamify something. I've never done this before. I will be giving you guys step-by-step instructions, and you go booklets and everything afterwards. But that is part of what I'll be offering. That is going to be a paid service, obviously. This 4-week challenge is a free service. So I will be offering individual as well as group mentoring sessions. If we're doing group mentoring sessions, then the costing obviously brings it down, because then it's an ongoing process with more than 5 people involved. But if you also want to get that guidance and support on an individual basis, I'll be more than happy to assist you guys. And then also, there's going to be some accredited courses that I'm going to be sharing with you guys that I can recommend for you, that you can also have a look into. Like, for example, if you really, really want to improve your own way as for facilitation, the new QCTO Learning Support Facilitator is an amazing course. I've actually developed a course for NGO consultants. You guys will also see my email, and everything is also linked to NGO consultants. We are also bring in more experiences about AI and how can you use AI to support your students. But I will be more than happy to take you on for mentoring after this 4 weeks. Let's go through this, see the value that you get out of that, and then we only take it from there. Is that
Okay.
answering your
Thank you.
question for you?
Yes, I'm covered. I'm covered.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
So, yes, then basically what I would like to do is I've got a little poll for you guys here, poll that I would like you all to participate in, if it's loading here. So also with this, you select if you strongly agree, if you just agree or disagree or strongly disagree. This is also giving you some insight in what is going to be ahead for you. And I would like you guys to please go with this now and share and have a look and select the different options that is available here. Okay, so you guys will see the names are not recorded, but the results will be shared. So if you guys can please go through this and complete, can you guys also see it on your screen?
I can, yes.
Okay, if you can please complete this poll for me so that we can have a look.
Yeah.
So you guys can just read through this on your own and continue and move through it.
Marisa, I don't see anything on my screen.
I don't see anything on my screen as well.
Okay.
I can see mine.
Can you see yours?
I've also got
Alright.
mine.
Okay. Are some of you doing it from your phone? I'm wondering if that can maybe be the challenge then. Okay. So for those of you who can actually see it, if you can maybe complete it, I will see. I have to see how we can get everybody to be able to interact with this. Can I maybe just get an indication who's able to see it? If you guys look in the chat, if you look in the chat box, there will be a little box that say view poll. Can you see that?
Yes, I can
Yes.
see it.
Okay, great. Then you can access it there. Ilona, I see your hand is up.
No, you wanted to know whether.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, so does everyone have access to it now?
Yes.
No, I still can't see anything. I still can't see anything.
If you
I
pull
have it on the chat box.
in the chat box, it's a view poll. If you I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it a poll or a poll?
Poll.
Poll. Poll.
Paul,
Thanks, Ilona.
Either way.
Okay.
Well,
So if you have a look in the chat box, it, I see if
yeah, it's fine.
you guys got it. I see if I
Yeah.
don't put in something here, then I can't submit anything. I just want us to be able to see the results. Have everybody been able to continue to get it done? Because it will be interesting to see what we get. Okay, can you guys see the results here on my screen?
No.
And I
You
think
see my screen again. That's not the screen I want to share. I actually want to share this screen. Can you see it now?
Yes, I can
Yeah.
see it.
Okay, great. So now we can have a look at the results of what you guys have actually given there. So I prefer learning through hands-on activities and practical experiences rather than reading or listening. It seems like most people agree with that, strongly agree with it, and then 25% agree and some people disagree. So that once again show that we also have our own styles already coming out here as well. I love this. Okay, so then for the next one, I enjoy group discussions and collaborative learning where ideas are shared and debated. 75% agree. All right. And then someone also disagree with that, showing once again the different styles that we have on our own learning styles and what we like and prefer or not. Okay, I learn best when information is presented in a visual format, such as charts, graphs, or diagrams. Sometimes, definitely, and probably is the other one. Visually doesn't necessarily just have to go around pie charts and everything as well. It can also include videos and things like that. I appreciate it when facilitators incorporate real world examples and case studies into the learning material. Strongly agree comes through and definitely and one say disagree. Okay. I'm open to trying new and innovative teaching methods in my facilitation, even if it means stepping out of my comfort zone. Somebody is not agreeing with that one. And then we have 2 people agreeing with it and another person strongly, well, 2 strongly agree and 1 agree there. Okay. Then I believe that adapting my facilitation style to meet the different learning preferences is essential for the effective learning experience. Someone say disagree, then we have agree, 2 responses, and strongly agree there as well. I actively seek feedback from learners on my facilitation style and use it to make improvements. Agree and strongly agree. I love to see that one. It's nice to see that you guys also look at what your learners say and try to improve with that. I am comfortable with the idea of balancing facilitation between discussions and interactive activities rather than relying solely on lecturing. Strongly agree. I love to see 75% agree with that because it's not lecturing, it's facilitating. And then 1 strongly disagreeing there as well. I'm willing to invest time and effort to enhance my facilitation skills to explore new methodologies. There's agree, strongly agree, and strongly disagree. Okay. That strongly disagree might be me who just ticked away things. I didn't check what I tick just to get to the point where I can actually share the results there. Yes. So then also I believe that creating a dynamic and engaging learning environment is crucial for learner success. Most of you strongly agree, we've got agree, and then we also have 1 strongly disagree there. Okay, so guys, this is the type of questions I wanted to show it to you here in this. Thank you for participating in that as well. This is the type of questions I see strongly agree. Oh, great. You guys are amazing. Those of you who couldn't get onto the poll, thank you so much for giving your things through in the chat as well. I love it. I love that action that you've been taking there. Thank you. All right, so this gives you guys an idea of the type of questions that you're going to have. It's only 20 questions, all right? So it's not going to take you hours and hours to do it. I want you to go through it. The last 5 questions is the only ones that is not a multi-choice questions where you actually have to write and explain to me your input so that I can also start understanding each one of you as an individual better so that I can take you through this process as well. Then that is it from me. The floor is open for discussions and I want you guys to ask questions and share with me what you, after hearing what I've shared with you tonight, do you think you still want to continue on this challenge and take it on with me? Or do you think maybe it's not for you? I would love to get your feedback on it, please. You guys can randomly go.
I definitely want to continue.
Great.
Very exciting. I love everything I heard.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Paul, thank you so much. I see that you also said that you, yes, I will continue. The rest of you guys?
Yeah, Maritza, I'm also, you know, I feel if as facilitators, if we're not prepared to do something to engage or to be different in our classes, then we're not really, and this is going to sound harsh, but we're not there just for the money. You know what I mean? We're there to change people's lives. We're there.
Thank you for that. Yes.
We're being nominated and we're accepting work to say that, yes, we're going to go and teach people. So if we're not prepared to, and we're quite happy with the poor results because I'm taking my X amount of money home every day, then actually, I don't know who we're fooling. So I'm sorry, this is very, but my people that have been in my class, the people who have been in my class know me very well. That I'm very open and I'm very I say to them, if you're not prepared to do this, then find another profession because then you shouldn't be here.
Thank you for that. And Ilona, I don't want you to apologize for any of your bold statements as well on this. This is an open forum where we need to be able to address these things. One thing that I also say to people is, if you don't have a passion for people, then you're not doing yourself or any of the learners any favors. At the end of the day, if your learners are not yet competent or not competent in the training, that finger points back to you as the facilitator, because what time and effort you actually put in to make sure all your learners can actually achieve and be competent. First thing, if learners are not yet competent, if my students and my learners in my classes are not yet competent, I judge myself first. Why? Where did I go wrong to find somebody not being competent? And people that have been in my classes before as well, no, I mean, you've been in my class 2 weeks ago as well, where I say, I guarantee you, if you're sitting in my class and doing your part, you will be competent. No one will be not yet competent, because that's our jobs as facilitators. So yeah, we have to be open and bold about it. We call a spade a spade. That's what it is.
Can I just jump in there? I just want to say, I had the privilege of attending one of Ilana's courses last year, and I cannot agree more in what she's saying, because if you want to do a facilitators or a course where you work, because you work with people, and the main thing is as Ilana says, that you mustn't be in it for the financial benefits. It's about developing and making a difference in somebody else's life, and to get that message across to that person. And that is one of the main reasons why, it's like a passion. If you don't have that passion to say, listen, I want to make a difference, then you must not be in this type of training. And I get back to the fact that, we don't want to, if you just look at it now, is because if you don't understand your pupil or your guy that you're actually working with, and you don't understand the different cultures and so on, you got a problem, because you need to say, listen, when you walk out of there, or that person walk out of here, say, you know what, I've learned something today, and I'm going to make a difference when I walk out of there. And that's the way how I see it. And I'm actually privileged to be part of, for the invite that Ilana has given us, by putting this on the group and so on, and to share that knowledge, because, you can always learn. It doesn't matter how old you are. And it's about listening, because times are changing, politics is changing, financial issues has changed, and everything has changed. And if you look at the different generations, if we don't keep up to date with that, you're going to fall off the bus.
Wonderful, amazing. Yes, I totally agree with you. Thank you so much, Stephen. I totally agree with you. Anyone else? Guys, thank you for in the chat. I see that you guys want to continue with this. I see that we also have Johan, your hand is up. Is it to say shop, or is it to say you want to say something? Okay,
I also just want to share my experience with this. And for myself, starting in this new line of work, in the mining industry, where you're forced into specific policies and procedures and way of doing things, and develop something like a facilitation style, bringing out that is going to be extreme challenge for me, which I'm taking on head on. So trying to incorporate this into the mining world, where you are forced into a railway track of doing things. So yes, the facilitation course I have done at INJO did open up a lot of doors and give me some direction, but I'm sure I'm going to benefit of this. And I also want to say thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I see that we are already over the time. We've got one more hand up there. I'm going to say Ulisani. That's easier to pronounce. Ulisani, your hand is up. You on mute?
Okay. Thank you. Okay, at least Ulsan is better. Yeah, there you go. But as a facilitator, I know that you're gonna learn. So the point which I want to emphasize in here is, remember, as a facilitator, today I can be just Ulsan as it is. But the moment when I go to the class, I touch live. This is what I know. And anything which I will do with a poor, like let's say I deliver poor knowledge to the learners. At the end of the day, under the mining, I'm exposing myself. Because at the end of the day, there's a section in which the learners they must follow the sections. But if I cannot give them sections like it's under the legal liabilities, then the more they fail, they're exposing the whole company, not just the facilitator. So can you see that a facilitator, he became or she became a brand of the company. So
Absolutely.
I'm happy to see that I'm not the only one who is chasing the patient of a facilitator. There are still true facilitators out there. This is what I'm happy for. And thanks
That's
for the
amazing.
exposure. Thank
Wonderful. I'm even more excited about going forward and taking this challenge on with you guys. Thanks once again. I really don't want to take much more of your time. We are over the time that we originally said that we're going to be doing. We're already almost 20 minutes over the time, and I respect your time as well. So I don't want to push much longer on this discussion, but this is an introduction session where we get to know each other better, but we'll definitely in the process work with each other. And thank you all for your inputs. I don't know it all, believe me. I still have so much to learn. And I believe and I know I can also learn from all of you. But let's share those experiences with each other that we have and help each other to continue this passion that we have. So I'm going to be seeing you guys face to face again next Tuesday only. I will be sending you the mission that you guys can complete. And I want to encourage you guys to please take those badges I sent you, put it on your Facebook, create more awareness. I'll share also, I've created a Facebook group, community group that we can also use. Yeah, let's share with each other, support each other through this, and let's push forward to make that differences in people's lives that we all love doing. Thank you, everybody. And I'm going to say
Good.
bye then.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thanks,
Next
everyone.
time.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thanks. Good night,
bye-bye.
Marina.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye. Take care and be safe.
Thanks, the same.
Dankie Maritza.
Dankie, Lana. Waardeer hoor.
Mooi bly.
Bye-bye, Steven. Bye-bye, almal.